You stress about money every single day. Your bills, your rent, your job. But 10,000 years ago, some stressed out cave dweller was worrying about the exact same survival math, just with rocks instead of dollars. We haven't changed. Imagine if every bank account and credit card vanished tomorrow. No cash, no crypto, zero digital balance. Civilization would collapse in days. That extreme fragility tells you exactly what money actually is. This animated diagram shows the true scale of the global economy, expanding from a single coin into a massive data web worth $105 trillion. That number breaks human intuition. But every dollar in that web traces straight back to one ancient human trading a fish for a rock. Money has absolutely zero physical value. It is completely abstract. Yet tracing the origins of the system explains exactly how we organized the current distribution of wealth, power, and inequality. For most of human history, existence was an endless zero-sum grind. You hunted, you gathered, and you tried not to starve. There was no concept of taking a day off or saving for the future. Then came agriculture. Wheat served as humanity's very first technological safe point. Because grain didn't immediately rot, you could stockpile calories to survive the winter. Stored food allowed for the division of labor. With the village fed, individuals could specialize as builders, hunters, or traders. But early trade had a massive bug in its code. Economists call it the double coincidence of wants. If a berry forager wants meat, but the hunter only wants flint, the trade completely fails. As soon as early villages tried to connect across hundreds of miles, this bug crashed the network. A trader in Mesopotamia couldn't barter grain for copper if the copper merchant wanted wood. The whole system ground to a halt. Mesopotamia patched this bug by assigning a standardized value to chunks of silver. They created universal trade mediums and used meticulous tracking grids to record their commercial transactions. Standardized currency solved the logistics of regional trade, making the old barter system obsolete almost overnight. This radar chart shows exactly why currency won, maxing out 4 specific traits. Portability lets you carry it anywhere. Divisibility lets you break it into smaller units. Durability means it won't rot like grain, and scarcity ensures it can't be easily faked. Those early crude silver chunks eventually evolved into the first official government-backed minted coins. With reliable standard coins, massive empires could systematically collect taxes to build roads, fund armies, and drive global conquest. Currency provided the required hardware prerequisite to load the complex software of human civilization. But this currency patch introduced a massive glitch. For the first time ever, a single individual could hoard wealth indefinitely, creating extreme inequality. This chart shows the math behind ancient usury, or compound interest. If you lend 100 silver coins at a 20% rate, it expands exponentially over 10 years. Money generates more money passively, requiring zero physical labor. This scaling exploit grew into fractional reserve banking, where financial institutions legally loan out money that doesn't physically exist yet, materializing new value from nothing. The ultimate system crash happens when authorities overprint this currency. In Weimar Germany, hyperinflation mathematically destroyed the currency's value, forcing people to burn stacks of cash for heat because it was cheaper than firewood. Money became a dangerous double-edged sword. Used correctly, it builds entire empires, but if the underlying code is abused, it can instantly collapse society. Today, the global financial machine moves trillions of dollars a day. It is so vast and interconnected that no single central authority, not even the institutions setting the interest rates, fully comprehends how it operates. That is because money has zero physical reality. Whether it is paper, silver, or pixels on a screen, it runs entirely on a collective human algorithm of belief and trust. And despite the chaos, the extreme wealth concentration, and the periodic market crashes, this completely abstract system successfully funded almost all of our medical and technological progress. Even cryptocurrency isn't some futuristic invention. It is quite literally a digital recoding of the exact same 5,000-year-old scarcity principles used by ancient merchants. From shiny seashells to blockchain tokens, every single economic evolution is simply humanity updating its trust mechanics to coordinate larger and larger groups of strangers. The math behind those Mesopotamian loans reveals a structural advantage that still dictates the economy today. Because capital compounds while physical labor remains linear, owning the assets that generate value consistently outperforms working for a wage. This mechanical rule has remained unbroken for 5 millennia, applying equally to the ancient grain trader and the modern billionaire investor. We traded the slow, dusty camel routes of the ancient world for the extreme speed, massive scale, and automation of modern digital commerce warehouses. Yet every time you tap your phone to buy a coffee, the mechanical transaction is identical to an ancient human bartering in a dirt market. The global economy is our ultimate, beautifully chaotic refusal to just survive. We invented an imaginary concept